how's it going? Today's video is gonna be like kind of like a live video. It's just I don't want to actually do a live because usually the quality just like isn't very good. But what I mean by that is that like I'm gonna, you know, be out of frame a couple times and stuff like that. I'm also going to be talking about like my like personal life a little bit, so like if that doesn't interest you, sorry. I have like other videos where it's like just cooking, but today I am going to make some mashed potatoes with a mushroom like gravy, and I am serving that with some like roast beef that I made yesterday in the Instant Pot. So yeah, so if that interests you, please stick around, and I am gonna start prepping now, so. So I just have one pan for the mushrooms, and then I just got this pan for the potatoes, which I forgot to put water in. Anyways, and then I have this pot here for the potatoes. And I just have 2 russet potatoes. It's probably gonna be like way too much potatoes, but oh well. I haven't really eaten yet. I worked earlier. This is like what I usually wear to work. I like just, I wanted to make a video and just kind of talk about like stuff, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of like, I was contemplating like on the way home, like, is it appropriate? But I mean, like I talk about like, you know, stuff on here all the time, so it's kind of like, why not, I guess? Especially since like people on here that like have been following me are gonna be like probably asking me like questions. Mitzi just got a potato skin. Oh no. Good thing there's paper towels in there. I'm gonna rinse this. Mitzi just got a freaking potato skin. That is so funny. Anyways, so yeah. So I am not dating Jonathan anymore. If you're shocked, you are feeling the same as me. It just happened yesterday. Like literally like last night. I was like pretty caught off guard with it. Like whenever he texted me to tell me to like go over there, like he was like, hey, like we need to talk or whatever. And like as soon as he said that, I just like knew what was about to happen. But before that, I didn't really think anything bad. Like I didn't really think anything was gonna happen. So yeah, it's like, especially since, so my birthday is, what is today? Today's Monday. My birthday's on Wednesday, I think. What is today? It's on the 17th, which I'm pretty sure is Wednesday. And like we already, like we had like plans to like go out to eat and like that. Like we literally like had plans. Like it's not like our relationship just like wasn't made of plans, and like that's what is like so like confusing and just like disappointing is that like I feel like there was like a conversation could have been had, I guess, like especially for like the problem that that it was. So I'm just gonna cube up these potatoes so that I can mash them. whenever they are done boiling. Anyways, so it's just kind of confusing because like we've kind of discussed like breakups and stuff like that, like previous like breakups and stuff. And so like if that were something that I was gonna think was gonna happen, I would have figured that he would have wanted to like talk about it first. Because that's just what it seemed like, but it looks like from like what I gathered like last night whenever he was talking to me, it's pretty much like he had like a thought and then like just had a conversation like with himself about it without like even really talking to me about it, and then went from there, which, you know, I mean, like obviously like he's allowed to do whatever he wants, like his life, but like it's also my life. And what's also disappointing is that it's not, it shouldn't have been like a surprise to him that I have stuff like wrong with me, because I was like, you know, I kind of told him that I was like, hey, like, you know, don't start talking to me unless you think that you can like deal with all of this, which it is and it isn't. That like my mental stability is kind of disguised by actions. And so I feel like my actions were like misinterpreted because like I was going and hanging out with one of my exes, which it's not like that, like, you know, we had talked about that and everything, but like we were like going out and like, you know, like drinking and like stuff like that, and I think that it was like being read to him as like me just going out and like having fun and stuff, but honestly like some of that was, I need a bigger pot. Not enough room for these potatoes. Anyways, I know I like barely make sense right now. It's mostly because I haven't had any food and like I barely got any sleep last night because of like I just kept waking up like in the middle of the night, unfortunately. But if you're still here listening to me, I really appreciate it, honestly. Like that's just kind of what I need right now, is like someone to listen and not like give me their opinion. Like like I know, I don't know. I really don't. Anyways, so I am going to slice up some mushrooms here. These are like wrapped super weird. And I just have the potatoes on like a pretty high heat right now to get them started boiling. And I'm gonna put like a teaspoon of salt in here. Maybe more. Yeah, more. Potatoes need a lot of salt. Anyways, so he pretty much was just saying that we are like at different spots like in our lives, and I can understand like where he's coming from. However, like, you know, you knew like my age when you kind of like started talking to me, and I've definitely made it clear about my like relationship history and how it's just like I haven't really had that much experience with everything. So I think that's something else that was kind of frustrating, is he was like, he was saying that there was a couple things that I did that were like disrespectful to the relationship. But it's like, it was just kind of hard for me to like see because I just didn't see it that way, or else I would not have done it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I didn't want to do something that was like disrespectful. And so that's why it's frustrating that he didn't like have a conversation with me about everything. Like, I'm like disappointed. I'm frustrated. Like, the conversation that we had last night was like I went over there. He was like, hey, I think we should break up. And I'm like, okay, why? And then he kind of explained that. And then I honestly, like, I just couldn't make any words or anything. Like, I was just so, like, caught off guard by, like, what he said, I guess. Because, like, I think also it's, like, since I don't have that much, like, relationship experience, I guess I kind of just, like, assumed that as long as I was, like, not yelling at him, and if he liked me, that would be enough. And like, I guess, you know, I was wrong, but I just didn't know. Like, and that's so frustrating. It's frustrating too because like we want the same things. Like we really do. And so for that to be like, for the opportunity of that to be like thrown away like so quickly, because like we talked about like future stuff a lot, and like, I mean, I don't know if he just does that with like everyone that like he dates. I mean, I honestly don't know. You know, I've only known him for like 5 months, but like whenever I was talking about that stuff, like I was being serious. Okay, so I sliced up these mushrooms. I'm gonna go ahead and put the heat on like a medium high right now. And I'm gonna go grab some cornstarch. What, Mama? What? And that is just gonna be for a cornstarch slurry that I'm gonna use for the gravy that I'm making. So I just have some cornstarch. I'm just getting a little bowl and a little whisk. And honestly, like, I don't really like feel like eating, but I know I need to, and I also need to eat. Like I literally, like, it was so weird. Like, I got home yesterday, I started like freaking cooking food and stuff, and I like put the beef in the Instant Pot, and like I put it for 3 hours, and literally in the time that like the start of the roast beef was a completely different mood than the end of the roast beef. Like, because I went over there while it was still cooking, and then when I came back, it still had like 15 minutes. So like, it was just like, when I got home, I swear to you, I wanted to throw that roast beef across the freaking room. Like, not in an angry way, but in like a completely uninterested, like just frustrated, in a frustrated way, but not angry. Like, just in a like, get everything away from me moment. These mushrooms are like so pretty. Anyway, but yeah, so I just put some olive oil in that pan. I am going to go ahead and throw these in there. And mushrooms can take like a good amount of oil, so I would say, so this is that entire thing of mushrooms. I probably put like 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. Cool. So those are just gonna hang out for a little bit. And then I can go ahead and do this. So cornstarch slurry is just helpful whenever you want to thicken something without adding, like without doing like a roux, and without adding like cream or something like that. Like, you can make something like a little bit more thick. because like sometimes with like you know, with cream sauces and stuff, it gets thick because of the fact that there's like cream and you just reduce it. Let me see. Perfect. So I feel like this should be an okay amount. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon, and it's just equal amounts of water and cornstarch. So I'm doing a tablespoon of cornstarch, and I'm gonna get a tablespoon of water, which I can actually get rid of here. Oh no, I can't because it's too high of velocity. Let me get. And I'm just gonna whisk this together. And it's just such an easy way to thicken something, it's ridiculous. So that can just hang out while these mushrooms are cooking. I must be like on a mushroom like thing as well, because I just had like hella mushrooms last night. That's probably why. Like I'll start eating them again, I'll be like, ooh, like mushrooms are amazing. But yeah, so while we're waiting for this, I can just tell you guys like what I did for the roast beef in case you want to, which I really need to do a video on that. So I just got the Instant Pot and I put it on saute, and then I put some oil in there, just a little bit, and browned the beef. It's just like a chuck roast or like something like that, just like a slab of meat pretty much. And then I just like threw some onions in there, some carrots in there, probably 4 cups of water. It really depends on like how big the beef is. Like you pretty much just put enough water to like cover the beef. Onion powder, garlic powder, what else did I put in there? Some oregano. I put some adobo seasoning in there, some Italian seasoning. It really doesn't matter, like just whatever kind of like seasonings you want. And before I sauteed it as well, I kind of just like had it chilling out like on the counter with some kosher salt on it, so that it would like pull the moisture. And then I just like dabbed it off before I like started sauteing it, so that it would create like a nice little like Maillard reaction, and like kind of like a nice little like crust. Also threw like hella black pepper in there. But yeah, so whenever I like got home or whatever, and like I was like putting up the beef, like I ended up just like, I was just like trying to get it like out of the way pretty much. So I just like threw everything like in here. Like I just like, because whenever it comes out, like it's very like shreddable. That's why I like it, because you can use it for like taco bowls, like something like this is really nice. But yeah, so, oh my goodness. So I need some of this liquid, because that's what I'm going to use for the gravy. I'm just trying to see what I want to pull some of this liquid out of here with. There's like some tallow at the top here. Yeah, that's good. Oh my gosh. And something else I'm like pretty disappointed with, which it's gonna sound ridiculous, but I mean, that's just the way my brain works. When I was like cooking over there, I noticed that he didn't have like a strainer, and it was like really bothersome to me, so I like got him one. And now I have like an extra strainer in my car for no reason, because now I don't have anyone to give it to. Like, I don't know. I really freaking wish that he would have just asked me why I was like going out and stuff, because part of like that was just like, part of it was because like I didn't want to like throw my like entire self into it, because especially like whenever I met him, like he literally, like if you watch the video, you know, that he literally was saying that he didn't want to be in a relationship, and then I like kind of pushed him into it. So like the whole time, like I was just like feeling guilty about that. And then of course it like comes off like incorrectly, and it's like part of it is like me like miscommunicating or lack of communication, not purposefully. Like I honestly, there was just certain times, like, this is gonna sound like kind of weird, but, or like rude, but I honestly don't mean it like in a rude way, but like my ex, like the one I was like hanging out with, like I don't see him in that way so much that it just didn't even really like occur to me to be like, hey, like I'm gonna go and do this. I almost took a drink out of this thing right here. Anyway, it didn't occur to me to like be like, hey, I'm gonna go do this, because it was just so unimportant. Like, but it's like, you know, like whenever Jonathan was like telling me about it, like it made sense then, but you know, hindsight, can't change it now. I certainly can't change it now because it wasn't a conversation. I'm just like so, I honestly just didn't think that he would do that. I honestly thought he would like, I thought that like he would be like, you know, wanting to have a conversation about stuff. I just can't. I can't get past that. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, it is what it is. Whatever. Like, just gotta fucking get over this shit again. It's just, I was feeling like very strongly for him, especially like with all of like the talking that we were doing about everything, and like we spent so much freaking time together, especially in the beginning. I'm just gonna strain this because it looks ridiculous. Remember guys, I do not have a whole brain right now, so try not to judge me. Oh, I also threw some tomatoes in there. It's nice to have the tomatoes for like some acidity. Whenever you're making like beef, it's super helpful. This is like half a tutorial and half like you guys just being like a therapist to me. I actually bought 2 things of mushrooms. See, I'm on like such a mushroom thing right now. Mitzi, what are you doing, baby? What are you doing? Oh my gosh. And like, I'm really disappointed about that too. Like, because like he loves Mitzi, and like, you know, like if you guys have kids or like dogs, like to find someone that like loves your kid or your dog like similarly or as much as you do and actually cares about their well-being is like very rare, especially since Mitzi is very hard to love. Ditto, sister. And so that was like a very disappointing aspect. Like, I literally, like, when I got to work today, like, I just wasn't having it, you know? Like, I mean, it was still, like, super fresh, especially since he did it, you know, I worked at, like, 7 in the morning. He did it at, like, 8 o'clock at night. So it was still really fresh. And so people were like, hey, like, what's up? Or whatever. And, like, I can be good until somebody asks me what's wrong, and then it's all over from there, and tears start coming out of my eyes. Because I hadn't cried yet. Like, I literally was, I think, like, I was going through, like, the 7 stages of, like, grief, honestly. Like, because I was, like, in denial, and then I was, like, I was just shocked as hell, in denial. And then whenever they were asking me questions, it was over at that point. So I'm gonna pull some of these mushrooms so I can use them for something else. That's why I like to saute like all the mushrooms at the same time, and that way, like one day whenever I'm not feeling like up to cooking, I can just reheat some stuff from the freezer. Like, it's better to have like homemade food ready for you in the freezer rather than like a freezer meal from like the grocery store. So it's just better to do that. These potatoes are starting to boil, so I'm gonna turn them down like just a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the beef broth. And then I'm just gonna bring this up to a boil. Is that gonna be enough? I feel like I need a little bit more. I'm sure I'm like grossing some of you guys out by now by like some of the stuff that I'm doing, but I honestly barely have a brain. I'm just trying to get some nourishment and not die. Anyway, so they were like asking me questions, and I'm just like, dude, like, I am not trying to talk about this. Like, obviously, like, we're at work. Like, I'm trying to work. Like, I'm literally just trying to work. So I went in my car and like, you know, like shed some tears in there. A little bit, a lot. While I was like waiting, because we have to, whenever I go to work, like we have to like wait for the vans, and then we have to wait to clock in, and just like all this stuff. Why are you staring at me? Why are you staring at me? What? You want to say hi? Mitzi says hello. Anyways, but yeah, so we just have to wait a little bit, and so I was just there, and then, you know, I sucked it up, did like my inspection of like my van and everything in the morning, and then I was like on my way to the station to pick up the packages, because it's like two different locations, like where you pick up the van and then where you pick up the packages. So I was on my way to the station to pick up the packages, and it just honestly like super hit me then. Like that was like where I was like really just, I think I was like going into like the acceptance part, and like I just started bawling, dude. Like I was about to have a panic attack pretty much. Like it was crazy. I'm gonna pull some of this beef out and heat it up. Anyways, it's really awesome how the Instant Pot like cooks the beef. It's like so, it's just so convenient to have this as like an option pretty much. But yeah, so this is like what it looks like. It kind of looks pink on there, but it's just because of the way that it cooks. And I'm just gonna microwave that because that'll just be the easiest thing. But yeah, like like literally like a couple days ago, like, so I think the incident or whatever happened on like Saturday, and he was literally asking me like Thursday or Friday, like, you know, what I wanted to do for like my birthday. And it's just like things happen. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I was like, what the heck was I doing? Just have some butter and some cream so that I can make the mashed potatoes in a little bit. Anyways, what are you guys up to? Was Mitzi in the background? Yeah, her tail was. Please let me know. I am super curious. Work was all right today. I actually got like the perfect route for my day today, since I was really just like, since I didn't have my head in the game, so to speak. I got like 150 packages or something. It was like 89 stops. And like sometimes stops are just one house or just one apartment, but sometimes it'll be like 3 houses or like 3 apartments or like whatever, and you have to like, sometimes it thinks that you can walk like freaking 400 feet, like, and you don't do that. You definitely don't walk 400 feet. You, if a door isn't within like, I would say 20 feet of the other door, it shouldn't be a stop together. Anyways, but sometimes they do that because Amazon wants to, they have to limit like the amount of stops that they give us. So they put stuff together so that it seems like they're giving us less. It's like a whole thing. Anyway, so yeah, I was in like 3 different like zones though, which was really weird. I was like in this one area called Adirondack, and then I was also like in an area near like this place called Cat Mountain, which is about 10-15 minutes apart. And usually for zones, like they'll put all of your packages like in one area instead of having them like 30 packages here and then drive 10 minutes and have 30 packages here and then drive 10 minutes and have them over there. They usually don't do that, but that's actually what they did to me the other day too. I had 6 areas. Like I had like this one 10 minutes, this one 10 minutes, this one, like it was crazy. And I'm still not sure why they did that at all. Like, I don't know if it's because they have so many packages and they just can't keep up with it. I'm gonna taste this really quick. Anyways, so not only am I like frustrated with him, but I'm also like frustrated with me because like I just want things to be obvious to me, but it's like I can't make something be obvious to me. Like, I mean, this isn't the first time that I've like messed something up by like doing the wrong thing. Is this really hot? I don't want to burn myself. I'm trying to taste this. Because it wasn't like obvious to me, you know, what was happening. Had to do a little bit of self-reflection last night. That tastes really good. Literally like perfect. I can't believe that I got so lucky with the salt. That's one thing about like cooking stuff in the Instant Pot, is that usually, you know, you cook like different amounts of meat like each time, and so sometimes you don't know exactly like how much salt and stuff to put. But yeah, I got super lucky there. If anyone is still watching this, I am so thankful to you. Are these potatoes done already? No way. These are done. Heck yeah. Time flies whenever you're like talking to yourself. So something that I learned in culinary school is that you want to like dry out these potatoes pretty much like as much as possible so that they like soak up as much of the like flavor of your milk, butter, like all of that. So I'm just gonna saute these a little bit. I don't even have the heat on, it's just the residual heat. And I'm just kind of moving them around a little bit so they kind of like fluff up and get more surface area to dry. Anyways, I think another reason why I'm like pretty confused as well is because like my actions are such an easy thing for me to fix so if that's like what he was like having an issue with, then like that's literally so fixable. So I feel like it's probably like something else as well, and like he just didn't want to like say it or something, like, because I mean there's, you know, we've had different conversations about like all kinds of stuff, and I mean if he doesn't have the patience for certain things, you know, like that's, he's allowed to do that, you know, like it's his life. But it's like, if you like someone, like, you know, shouldn't you want to try to fix it? I think that's what really is just like, that's what I keep going back to, is that like, you know, like I kept asking him, you know, like if he liked me and stuff like that. And so like, which obviously, you know, he would say yes. And I wasn't asking him that like really for any fault of his. It's just, I mean, it's just the way I am. I have awful self-esteem, which might come off as being surprising. I don't have awful self-esteem like necessarily whenever it comes to like cooking. I put like a 1/4 cup of cream in there and like a tablespoon and a half of butter. In this instance, I use Kerrygold, but I don't always use Kerrygold. It's just it was the smallest amount. And I put like a teaspoon of freshly cracked pepper in there. And these are Dunsies. They're super beautiful. I'm just gonna re-whisk this slurry and add it here. So this is simmering. I know you can't really see it, but just imagine a liquid simmering. And I'm gonna go ahead and whisk inside the liquid and dump the slurry in at the same time. Sometimes it'll kind of clump up in like certain spots for just a moment, but you just continuously whisk. And then it is going to need to come back up to a simmer. Cool, so that's now simmering. I'm just going to label these and put them in the freezer. I'm telling you, having freezer mushrooms or freezer grilled onions, amazing. Because it just makes everything so easy. What is today? The 14th? The beef is like hot, but I'm just gonna heat it up a little bit more just to make sure. Let me taste these potatoes. Oh, so close. Okay, so this should be good now. What's nice about the cornstarch slurry as well is that it gets like visibly thicker. So it's very easy to tell what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that. Anytime that you're making like gravies or like thicker sauces, just remember that like it's gonna get like, I don't know, 30% thicker whenever it's like cooling down. So you don't want to thicken it, like especially like white gravy, you don't want to thicken it all the way to the consistency that you would like to eat it at. I like want to put more on here, but like it's like that's the thing too, is that I'm not really like feeling hungry very, like I'm feeling hungry because I need to eat food, but I'm not like feeling like yay like food because I'm a sad lady right now. A sad lady. Kind of heated up way too much this. Oops. Cool. So here's my food. And should I just eat it like right here? Like standing with you guys? Or should I take it and like sit? I think I'll take it and sit. Like I said, this is kind of like a live. If you're still here, thank you so much. Oops, I just like dropped my phone case like on the ground. Okay, guys. Let me just adjust this a little bit more. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, so it's like, you know, I was kind of like protecting myself by like not talking to anyone. And then I finally start talking to someone, and then it just like goes to shit. Because like there's plenty of people that like try to talk to me all the time. Like, you know, like there's a couple guys like at work that try to talk to me and stuff, but it's just like, I was like, you know, like I'll talk to them, but I don't want to like talk to them because I was like very heavily interested in what was happening with Jonathan, which is now no longer happening. I have to keep saying stuff like that because I am still partially like in denial about everything, and I'm trying to tell myself that this is not how things were whenever I was talking to Daniel, and that was a very toxic situation, and going back and forth with each other is not normal, and that is not what is going to happen here. So just trying to accept that. And like when I say that we had plans, like we literally had plans for my birthday, for Christmas, for New Year's. Like, so it's just like, I think that's what I can't get. I think that's what keeps me reeling, is just like the plans. Like how is something so, how is one day where I didn't even really do anything that was like awful. I was like one day, like, and I think that's where it's like, you know, like obviously there's a culmination of different days that added up together, and that's, you know, like what kind of, I feel like, you know, made his decision final. But it's like, could you have described to me in more detail that it was that dire, because I would have taken it seriously? Like, It's such a pretty day out. It was really windy, but it's nice now that I'm inside. That is some kind of bird outside. I asked Snapchat like in my stories this morning for like some nice words. And they really came through. People were being like super nice. But there's only so much that words can like help. I probably could have used a little bit more cornstarch slurry or simmered it for a little bit longer, but honestly, like I said, my brain's not working. I wish you guys could see the the cabinets in here right now. I have like 3 drawers half open, a cabinet half open, the microwave is open. But yeah, I usually don't like talk about this kind of stuff like online or like with friends. Like I just try to like internalize it, and that seems to be not the right thing to do. So that was something else that made me want to like make this video, is because I just need to talk about it. Like that's what I've like come to the conclusion of, is that I just need to talk about everything and get it out of the way, and that way I don't have to worry about things still being like way too deep inside. Because I think that's another reason why things with Daniel like went on for so long, is that I was always internalizing everything and there was no like accountability like being had. What's up, mama? Something else I was thinking of earlier was like, you never know like when the last time is for like, you know, like you never know when the last time is that you're gonna like hug someone or kiss someone or like sleep with them, like, or, you know, like sleep next to them. So that's like, I think part of like the disappointment as well is that like I just wasn't done. And he is. So it's just, hard to accept. But I will get through this. It is fine. Like, we need experiences so that stuff like this doesn't, you know, affect us as deeply, which is probably why it doesn't, you know, matter as much to him, because, you know, like, he's got the experience. So, and I wanted to be clear that, you know, like, I don't think that he's, like, a bad person or anything. Like, I just am disappointed. And that's it. What's up, Emma? Anyways, so I'm gonna have that be the end of this video. I ate most of it, but honestly, like, since I haven't really eaten all day, like, I'm just really full. Excuse me. So if you got this far, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you guys have a great day or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.